Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our YouTube channel, Fast CPA and Consultants. I'd like to introduce our CPA, Fulton Abraham Sanchez. Welcome, Fulton.
Thank you, Sarah.
If you're visiting us for the first time, a few months ago, we started these series Tax Talks, where you send us your questions through social media, email, and today's topic, we have requirements to open an LLC in the USA. So are we ready to begin?
Yes.
Awesome. First question, what is an LLC?
An LLC is a limited liability company. The advantage of having an LLC is, first of all, the simplicity. It's very easy to maintain an LLC in comparison to a corporation. Second, it is very helpful when you have real estate or a business and you want to sell it out. It's very easy to do the sale. And also, if there is two people in the company, it has to be at least two people in the company, provides for limited liability protection. Limited liability protection means that the personal investment, the personal property of the owners of the company, of the LLC, will not be touched if anything happens with the LLC. If there is a lawsuit against the LLC, and there are two people in the LLC, the litigant will not be able to go after the personal assets of the owners of the LLC. So that's the key. So those are the key elements that make an LLC attractive especially for real estate. And this is the reason. Real estate is a passive asset. So when you buy real estate, it will not create any kind of additional taxation. So like if you buy an LLC and the LLC holds only real estate, you will have only rental income. Either you are a US citizen or you are a foreign citizen. You will only have rental income taxation, and that will be taxed at regular income tax rate. Because you are not going to produce the income of the real estate, the rental income is called passive activity. And because it's a passive activity, there is no self-employment tax if it is for real estate. If you open an LLC and you put an active business like a retail store, you will have the rental income over the profits of the LLC and self-employment tax 15% over the profits of the LLC. So the pros are simplicity, that you are able to easily install a business there, a property there. You don't have to do maintenance of a corporation. If you want to sell the business, it will be very useful. But to get those benefits, to receive those benefits, you need to have at least two people in the LLC. One, and second, to make the limit liability protection, you also need two people there. So that's an LLC. You can open a bank account with the LLC. You can buy more property with the LLC. You can put another business in the LLC, or another property, real estate property in the LLC. Those are the advantages of the LLC. Are very easy to form, very easy to dissolve, and very easy to use when you are selling either a passive property or passive income property like real estate, or active income property like a retail business. Oh, and the LLC doesn't pay taxes.
Oh.
The LLC flows the profits to the owners or to the owner, and it is the owner who pays taxes. And that's also an advantage of the LLC. The LLC doesn't pay taxes.
Okay.
The profits of the LLC are not taxable, but the profits are transferred to the owner according to the participation of percentage of participation they have. And it is the owner that are going to pay the taxes at their individual income tax, at regular income tax rate.
Understood. Are there any other advantages of opening an LLC in the USA?
Yes, another advantage is that whenever you have, for example, um, when you have multiple businesses or multiple properties, it will be better to have one property in one LLC. We have clients, for example, that they have 15 stores and they have 15 different LLCs. We have other clients, another client, he has 7 stores and he has one, in this case, one S corporation. All the company, I'm sorry, LLC, all the companies or the stores or the company, the entire company is not divided into separate entities. Per store is combined into one single entity. Same thing with properties. You can buy several real estate properties into one LLC. The problem with that is that you are creating risk. You have one property, is one risk. You have two properties in the same LLC, you have two risks. You have 3 properties in LLC, you have 3 risks. So this is what you have to measure. You have to evaluate when you have one LLC with several properties within the LLC. If you have that, you at least need to have a very a sound insurance policy that includes liability insurance. So if you're going to have multiple properties within the LLC, you must have, in addition to the insurance for each of the property, you also need liability insurance, and that is called umbrella policy, a liability protection insurance that is called umbrella policy. So this umbrella policy or this umbrella insurance policy will cover or will make a difference for any amount that the primary policies that you have, the primary insurance policies that you have will not take over the risk. The liability insurance will have that risk. That is, if you have one property, there's no need for an umbrella because it's only one property. But if you have several properties within one LLC, in addition to the insurance for each of the properties, you need what's called an umbrella. So on top of all the insurance for the properties, you have another layer of protection that is liability insurance in the form of an umbrella policy.
Understood. Third questions. What are the requirements to open an LLC in the USA?
For US citizens, they can open with the driver license and then apply to an EIN with their social security. If the person is not US citizen, it's as a foreign US, the time they obviously they don't have a social security, so they can open the LLC with the driver license, or I'm sorry, with the passport. They will need an address here in the US or at the state where they are going to open the LLC, and they will need an address, a physical address. We usually provide that service to our clients who are in a foreign country. And in addition, when the company is approved, there is a second application for a tax ID for the company. If the person is a foreigner, is a foreign US citizen, it will not be possible to get the tax ID for the LLC, for the company, but maybe it will take from 30 to 60 days because of the pandemics. And this is because the person who is applying is a foreign citizen without a social security. And because of that, the application is via fax. And because if it's in fax, through a fax, it will take minimum 30 days. I know that people have taken, the approval of the LLC have taken even 2 years. I'm sharing like 1 year for an LLC to be approved. And after continuing follow, we didn't process, by the way. I have heard that from people who tell me how long it takes to get a tax ID. 30 days. I would say 30 days, but I will not give 30, I will say 90 days because it has taken us longer. And now I know that the IRS is more efficient with more people there. And it's taking shorter to get the tax ID. But I usually it can take 90 days to get there. So that is the problem with foreigners, that they are not able to get a tax ID from the IRS with their Social Security because they cannot get that tax ID like a US citizen. It takes the application should be taken through fax or by mail or by fax or by mail and give it to the IRS, and the IRS will take 30 to 90 days. But that only applies to foreign citizens. Now, if the foreign citizen has or knows a person here in the US that is able to provide that person's Social Security number, the address, and the telephone number, and act as a third party, it will be easier to get the tax ID. It will take shorter to get the tax ID, shorter than 30 days, and with that, the company LLC will get the tax ID. But for that, a third party in the US is needed that person is able to provide the tax ID, the Social Security number, personal Social Security number, or personal tax ID or Social Security number, the address, their address, his or her address, and the telephone number. Those are the three requirements the IRS has for third parties.
Understood. And our last question. What is the best jurisdiction to open an LLC in the USA?
That depends on the investment. I know that many people are fond of opening companies in, for example, Delaware, Wyoming, Nevada. The deal with these states, Wyoming, Nevada, Delaware, they do not show the name of the owners of the companies that are open in those states. And they are called offshore companies, or offshore US company, or US offshore company, because they work like an offshore company. Offshore companies do not have the public records of the courts that approve the companies in offshore jurisdictions, do not reveal the name of the owners. Same thing applies with this state. And we have helped clients to set up that structure like that. And whenever we are applying for a company in this legislation, the name of the company, the name of the owners of the company is not shown. There is no information. You cannot get that. It's impossible. Even if you pay, you will not get it, because that is what makes the state attractive for forming companies. Now, you do that. If you need to do that, okay. If you do open a company, for example, in Delaware, and you are going to buy property in Florida, you need to register the company in Florida. And then when you register the company in Florida, you are not going to put your name. You're going to put the name of the company as the owner. So that way your identity will not be revealed if you don't want people to know that you don't want people to know that you have a property in that particular state. That will be one layer of information. So you open an LLC in Delaware with at least 2 members to enjoy the limited liability protection, but then you have to register that LLC in the state where you purchase the property. Otherwise, the banks will not allow you to purchase. And then a company that is foreign to the state where you are buying property is considered a foreign company, needs to be registered. So once you have that, this is where it comes, or you have that in mind. This is where it comes, the jurisdiction, where you are going to open. It all depends on the strategy that you have. You can open a Delaware LLC with 2 members, and then because you don't want people to know that you own that LLC, then you come to Florida, you come to Texas, you come to Kentucky, and you open an LLC there, but not your name, but a name of the company in Delaware. But for example, if you open an account, we have, for example, we have clients opening accounts remotely, and we do also the opening of the account remotely with the client. So there's no need to come to the US now. There is one bank that is accepting clients with applications provided online. So not online, I'm sorry. The applications providing the hard documents and filling up a PDF application. It's no online application. It's an actual document that needs to be filled in and attach all the documents requested by the bank, and that will be analyzed and approved or denied or requested more information. So if that is what you want, your name not to be pointed out, not to be seen on any company records in the USA, and you are a foreigner or you are a US citizen, the best jurisdictions for opening an LLC like that would be Delaware, will be Wyoming, and Nevada. Those will be the three legislation that have that organization or that way to organize entities, companies in the USA. If you do not, but remember, if you do that, you also need to register the company in the state where you are planning or you are buying or you're going to buy the real estate. So you have to be very careful if that is the way to keep your identity secret, but not knowing or deciding where is that or what is that you need to accomplish. If you want to keep your name confidential and no one is able to know that you own that property, then Delaware will be the location for selection. You can select Delaware, and then once you have a company open in Delaware, you need to apply to the IRS, to the Internal Revenue Department, for a tax ID. But remember, at that point, as you are a foreigner, you will need either a third party that acts as a third party and then apply for the LLC on your behalf, or you will need apply it by yourself. Not by yourself. We help clients apply through an accountant or a CPA, and that will take at least 30 to at least 90 days. I want to be conservative, so I think that it takes 30, probably 60, but I would say 90 days is the average that is taken right now. Once you have that, is when the opening of the bank account remotely is possible. So you need to have the company incorporated as well as the tax ID also received.
Awesome. So that's all of our questions for today. Thank you, Fulton, for your time and the information also. If you have any more questions, you can send them to our email or any social media we have. We have an exclusive Facebook group. We'll put the link down below so you can register or subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll see you on the next video.
Thank you.